A woman with heart to me is a compassionate woman. I think they're very aware of the needs of the community and tries their best to do something to change the world and to change our society and community. I think besides the compassion, they are willing to share their energy to make, things work in Jacksonville. My first experience in volunteering actually came in med school. We would go to missions to the very remote areas in the Philippines. I was born and raised in the Philippines. And we'd go to these people who had nothing. They had a hut and everyone lived in the same room. They barely had any food. And you would go in there and you would give them medications or treatment for really simple things like a cold. And they would be so thankful and so happy. They would offer you the little food that they had, and to me, that was just such a blessing. If I could have coffee with one person at this time, it would be my best friend, Rosanna. She was my best friend. I grew up with her. She was my maid of honor, and I was her maid of honor. And unfortunately, last year, she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And she lost her battle in October. And I was very fortunate enough to be with her the last time she was admitted in the hospital. And she just showed me what a strong person she is. The pancreatic cancer had spread to her bones and her lungs, and she was in a lot of pain. And so I would be in the room with her, and the pain medications would wear off. And I remember her looking at her face and seeing that the pain is coming back. And she would hold my hand. She goes, "Come pray with me. Let's offer this up to somebody." And we would rattle off names of, families and friends. And since the pain went on, she would say, "Okay, let's think of somebody else to pray for." And we'd pray for your people that we haven't seen since college or high school. And, she was just so brave. And her favorite time of the day would be during the sunset, because she would tell me to open up the blinds and she would look outside and she would say, "This is God's gift for me today, seeing the sun." And, she was never angry and she saw the beauty in everything. And I would sit down with her and ask her how she's doing up there. The person who's had the greatest impact on my life is my mother. I had great parents. My father was a lawyer, he was a writer, and he was a politician. So during the Marcos regime in the Philippines, the dictatorship, he was incarcerated as a political prisoner. And so my mother, who has always been a housewife and a politician's wife, all of a sudden had to be the sole breadwinner of the family of 5 small children. And, she turned her passion for collecting antiques into, business. And she supported us by selling antiques. And, what was remarkable about her is that we were children. We weren't aware. We knew that there was something bad going on, that it was dark times for us. However, she never complained. She never cried. And she never had that look of desperation in her eyes. And that taught me what a strong woman she is. And she did it all with a smile and grace. I think that being a doctor is a privilege. Not everyone can get to be a doctor. I think it really is an honor to have patients choose you to entrust their lives to and the health of their family to. And I firmly believe that too much is given, much is required. And if you have talents, if you have money, if you have skills, if you have knowledge, I think you have the responsibility to share that. I really think that people are here on the earth to make their corner in the world a better place. And for me, Jacksonville just happens to be that corner of my world. The person who I admire the most is actually Audrey Moran. She is just an exemplary person. She gives and she gives, and she doesn't really expect anything in return. She is such a good mentor, and you feel good about yourself after talking to her. She has gone through so many adversities, and she is not ashamed to talk about it if it's going to cause people to pause and learn something from her situation. And I admire this in her. The one word that my friends would probably describe me as is being compassionate. I'm very aware and sensitive of the people around me, so that makes me empathic to what they feel like, and they probably would think of me as that. I think one of the words that I would describe myself is being very driven. There's a lot of things that I feel I need to accomplish, and I try to do that. I try to make it through the day knowing that I've accomplished the one thing that I wanted to do that day. So being driven would be the word that I would describe myself. What is the one thing that my friends don't know about me? That I'm a frustrated singer. I would love to be able to sing. And, being a Filipino, we love karaoke. I try, but it doesn't come out that good. My favorite guilty pleasure is shopping. And anyone who knows me knows that. I mean, I love shopping for shoes. I think I could wear different shoes every day for the next year or so. It is actually embarrassing. Volunteers in Medicine is a little jewel in our community. It takes care of the working poor. These are the people that's been forgotten by the community. And I think to provide this free care and give them that consistency of knowing that if anything happened to them, somebody will take care of them, I think that's very important for the human soul.